Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Zwift GPS Gold Rush event out on Zwift. For those who are unfamiliar with what Zwift GPS is, they are an integrated API third-party website which does provide community games as well as maps. Pretty cool third-party website. We're going to go over real quickly how you can set up your Zwift GPS. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with the program. As always, you can join in with us over on our social medias as well as on our streaming platforms. We are live over on Mixer as well as Twitch, YouTube, and Zwift Community Live's Facebook. I do see Racing Mike hanging out over in the chat over on Mixer saying, "Oh no, Nathan, not in kit." We found that if Nathan is solo on the broadcast, it doesn't make for the most interesting, at least, well, for some of you it might be interesting when Nathan's just hammering away on the bike, but we want to definitely be able to commentate on what all of you are doing. So the races with Zwift GPS and Gold Rush do start on the hour, every hour. You do not have to wait for these events in order to join in on them. But essentially, you are playing Sonic the Hedgehog out on Zwift. You are out there collecting coins in a Gold Rush against other riders out on course. We're going to go ahead and go through a quick little video for the steps. It is also posted on our Facebook. But step one for this, you must link your ZwiftGPS.com together with Zwift. You head on over to my.zwift.com. You can see that Johnny was logging in as Hunts Gold. Hunts Gold for the email he sent in there. So as you can see, he logged into myzwift.com. You go to connections, as you can see there, and that's where you'll be able to find all the places that you can connect your account to all the third-party apps. Zwift GPS is one of the third-party apps that is connected for an opt-in at the bottom there, along with CVR as well as ZwiftPower.com. You went ahead and clicked on the connection for the Zwift GPS, and then he went to ZwiftGPS.com and enters in his Zwift ID. So he opted in. That's the first step, as you can see, and then he went ahead and found his Zwift ID. There's a couple ways you can do that. There's a cool little web browser feature in order to find your Zwift ID. You put in your Zwift username, you put your password in there, and bam, it'll give you your Zwift ID. You can also find it on your computer in your Zwift files. I would check out ZwiftInsider.com to figure out how to go about doing that. But there, he went ahead and found his ID, copied it up, and put it into the program on ZwiftGPS.com. And then you do have the Gold Rush or Zwift GPS up on the site there. Then on the right hand side there, you can see the games. Well, you can see at the top there the games once you just click on games, and Gold Rush will load into the browser. You can select all the different maps right there, and bam, there are your coins. Open up Zwift and ride the route on Innsbruck, as riders are currently doing for the challenge right now. It looks like we do have, I'm going to go ahead and check and see if we have any riders out on course. It does look like, I believe, Michael Szymanski as well as Hodges, I believe, are out on course currently. So cool little program that you can jump out onto, and you can see he's given us a quick little example here of how to go about chasing the coins. You can also use it on mobile, so great way to use a second screen along with Zwift. So Gold Hunter is out on the Innsbruck climb, currently on the course there, looking for the coins. It looks like he's on a mobile device, perhaps, I believe, on the right hand side there, checking out. I believe that you can find the Zwift GPS on your mobile, perhaps with an app. I'd have to check that out, but I believe you might have to open up in a web browser. So those who collect the most coins at the end of the day will be the winners. So let me go ahead and check out where things are at. So currently this is the map for Zwift GPS with all the coins out there on it. The Innsbruck ring as well as the climb. Now it does look like the climb is rewarded better than the rest of the course. Actually, usually that's the way that it does work actually with Gold Rush, is that they do reward the climbs a lot better than they do the flatter sections of the courses. A lot of times you do find treasure chests as well out on the climbs. Actually, the more difficult parts of the course are definitely rewarded better. So we do have a couple setups here so that we can see who is on each part of the course as well. Here's the Innsbruck ring, little closer in shots, as well as the climb. We do need to change a couple titles up there, but if you have any questions or comments, so let us know. It looks like Hudge is gone. Come on, people. It looks like Racing Mike is going to probably be perhaps the only one out there racing today. We'll see if we get that. So if anybody wants to jump in, you're going to be able to most likely take a W no matter what, because Szymanski is your only competition currently out on course. So jump out on course. You can still, there's a 1 hour event, and you'll be able to race. Maybe I should just jump on the bike real quick here. I was wondering if I was going to need to, but we'll see if the leaderboard starts popping. It doesn't look like Szymanski's been able to collect any coins just yet. I'm going to actually see here if we can follow along with Szymanski and find him out on course here. So he is heading over. It looks like Sonic the Hedgehog is out on course, but he's actually racing his bike in, I believe, this is probably a KISS racing event actually right now, as they are on the Innsbruck course here for the, I believe they're doing the Innsbruck ring today. Ian Bibby's out there as well. So I'm not sure I can get out of this actually here, so I'm going to just go ahead and go back out to me. We'll see if we can find Mr. Szymanski out on course. This is a new streamings account that we do have, so might be a little more difficult because it's not following all the individuals in order to connect with them here. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find Szymanski out on course. Looks like he has collected up 1 coin so far, and looking through, not seeing too many others though just at the moment. But he is heading on over, it looks like, to the climb, because that's where the most gold is out on course. Real quickly here, let's see what's going on here. So a couple more comments coming on through. Nathan without a cap. Nathan hype. Is that Nathan? Where's the cap? You guys want me to put my hat on? I can put my hat on if you guys want me to. Good to see you, Patrick. Chuck Woosley, good to see you there as well. Martin Jorbrick from the SCR Racing Series. And Zwift Community Live coming on through saying, use your web browser to connect to Zwift GPS. And appreciate Zwift Community Live letting everybody know how to connect. So looking through here, seeing where is Szymanski at. I think we're just going to be following Szymanski around the course most of the day here. As not sure we're going to see too many more riders. But see if we can find him out on the course and see what he is up to as far as what he's going to be chasing here. As looks like it's going to be a solo maybe victory for him, unless we can get a few more riders out on for the event today. One of the things that a lot of times can be difficult with third-party apps like this is with not having events in game. People a lot of times, there's a little bit of a wall at the point, a little bit of friction in order to get set up, as you can see with the setup up front. But once you do, it is a pretty cool program with the the added gamification is what they're looking for, it looks like, for this program here. So looks like Szymanski is heading on over toward a gigantic treasure chest there. I believe that does open up 5 gold points for him. I believe that's 5, which is pretty, like, I did this in March. We had a Zwift event with Gold Rush that was pretty dang cool. And we had quite a few people show up and race it that day. And what I found was interesting was, like, each coin, you know, for some reason in my head, I'm like, okay, I didn't do the math right. I don't know why, but I wasn't doing the math right at all. And the riders, as we were going for those treasure chests, I didn't realize how much value they actually had. And you can see there's like one coin, and then there's like 3 coin stacks. There's like there's coin stacks that are a little bit bigger, and then there's also the treasure chest stacks. And those, well, not treasure chest stack, but treasure chests, and the difference between those is so, the value between them is just so big that it's definitely worth it to be going after those stacks. It's you don't really see the distance, obviously, between each one of these coins, and you can see how Szymanski is moving here. It's a pretty big distance actually between the rider, each one of those coins, and you know, it's really a big like it's a big effort to get between each one. And so the amount of effort that you can like take away from between each coin you gain just by going after a treasure chest or going after a 3 stack is a pretty big advantage to gain. Let's see here. Do you only see riders that are doing Gold Rush? Matthias, that is a great question. No, it is a community event and community website. So they do not have the ability that I see yet in order to remove the riders in the Gold Rush event, because there's not a Gold Rush event. It is everybody who is out on course competing with you. And I believe you'll only see riders that have opted in for Gold Rush. It's actually a really good question, Matthias. Go ahead and see if you guys want to ask some more questions like Matthias did about Gold Rush. Go ahead and do so. Yeah, you only see riders who are opted into Gold Rush and are competing with you, or riders who are opted in and just happen to be out on course though too. So it would be cool to get some event integration actually, or a way to say to Gold Rush, hey, here's a little button. I'm the only one who, well, these people are the only ones who are actually involved in the event right now. And then it would actually clear the board so that people who are randoms out there aren't just out there grabbing the coins and didn't know it. So that is actually a really good point on, you know, the development of this third-party game right now. Zwift GPS, what it started as, Zwift GPS, was just a way to be able to go and see what's happening live. And this was developed before the API integrations with GDPR and all that went down, right? So for a while, Zwift GPS, Zwift Power, and CVR rankings were all down for a really long time. Well, not a really long time, a couple months. Month and a half, actually, not even a couple months. So GDPR information had to be opted in for to share. And then once you opted in for those, then Zwift GPS could be up and running again. So if people have not opted in, they're not going to be seen on the leaderboards, obviously. So Matthias, thanks, man. Appreciate your comments over there. Let's see if there's any more comments coming on through. Racing Mike saying, big effort until I turn around. It seemed like a really long time for us racers. Racing Mike is saying, yeah, I can relate, Mike, for sure, about it feeling like a really long time, but it was not actually that long at all, which is the funny thing. Is it was actually a fairly, you know, it was a fairly short period of time actually for the opt-in to get integrated. Only about a month and a half. I mean, I guess a month and a half is a fairly long time for those who are racing. But sandbaggers were off the leash, and I think that's the point, right? Is that a lot of people did not enjoy the fact that the sandbaggers were off the leash. So another thing that's cool about Zwift GPS is that up in the upper right-hand corner, right, we have this map that I'm clicking on. But the map only goes this big, right? So you can't really see too much of what is going on around the rest of the course. You can kind of see people that you know, but you don't really get this like overall view. Whereas in Zwift GPS, which I find is kind of cool, you do get a much larger view here, as you can see, of the map. The zoom in features, they do need better zoom in features on the map. It does look like Hodges has logged in, so we do have a little bit closer look of the Innsbruck ring here. And then we also have a look here up at the climb. So it does look like Hodges has taken on the challenge here. And here's Szymanski over on the climb here, making his way up the quote-unquote forward direction. But Hodges now going to start chasing him down for the leaderboard, it looks like. So we might have a race on our hands here. Hodges already with 3 coins, actually. Let me see if I can go ahead and find him out on course. He is, I believe, just starting the Innsbruck ring. So we're gonna be able to find him pretty easily, as this is our avatar that is on the Innsbruck ring. As long as we don't get stuck in an event. Now this is where it'd be pretty cool to have your own events that you could organize and start in game with a Zwift gold rush, like an in-game gold rush, and then you'd have the overlay within game coins to go collect within the game and race each other for them. Pretty cool. That'd be a pretty cool event, but more of like a free world, free ride type situation. Currently, obviously, we do need to use the a third-party app in order to get it done. But this is early days, and so you guys know, Zwift racing. Like, let's go ahead and chat a little bit about the history about how Zwift racing and events even came about. There was a time. This was actually after live. This wasn't beta. We had no events. We didn't have a pier or an events space where people would hang out in a pen and wait. The community was showing up at the start line on Watopia or Richmond, and at that time it was Watopia and we had Richmond, and they would just have a timer on their computer, and everybody had an agreed time that they would start. And this is where Zwift Power came from, right? The third-party app that was tracking all of this stuff through Strava. It was through the Strava API. They weren't even tracking this through anything with the Zwift. Eventually, it came through the Zwift information, but that was provided through watchers. So people were logging in and putting watchers all over the course, and those watchers then were collecting information at that time, right? So it was this crazy space where the community was creating something that they had wanted in the game, right? Like Zwift was like, oh, maybe people will race, but this is a training platform. And then like all of a sudden, all these people were racing, and I was like, all right, let's go ahead and start broadcasting these races. And this whole racing culture started, and there's broadcasts, and people are showing up and racing to the broadcast. And next thing you know, we had like full-fledged racing events, but events weren't in the game, right? And so we're kind of at that point now with the gamification kind of things. Right now, Zwift GPS type stuff, the stuff with Gold Rush, isn't actually in the game, but we're heading toward a space now where it seems like we might have a desire for people to want to do this kind of thing, and we have to start creating, this space where like we can see, well, how many people are going to get involved, see how much of a desire is, and then also kind of experiment with what would be the popular types of games. So, Rogers, good to see you over at the Mixer chat. This looks pretty good, especially after watching Tour de France with yet another UK winner. Good to see you there, Peaky. And, you do have, I believe, a lot of viewers coming out of the UK. I'm not sure if that was a shot like yay or if that was like another UK winner. So interesting comments coming through there. And I do know that there are plenty of viewers who definitely are all about the UK win at the Tour de France. But good to see you there, Peaky. And the SwiftGPS.com, cool. Very cool. third-party integration. It does look like Hodges and Szymanski are both going for the same area out on course. Having a little bit of trouble finding them as the Innsbruck course, the wrapping around here to the climb can be a little bit difficult. It does look like I will be heading on over there and being able to maybe take the right-hand turn here. Everybody's going on the flat course, though, it looks. But we'll see if we can take this right-hand turn and get onto the climb here momentarily. Nobody wants the climb. Just too difficult. Got a couple runners out on course, it looks like. Dugan and it looks like Whiting here battling it out a little bit for the run. Solid pace here of 435 kilometers per kilometer, it looks like here. But oh no, Dugan, who is this that's taking the right? No, I lost him. And it looks like, oh, they're in a group workout, and I can see them. I cannot click on them and join them just yet. But it does look like this guy is going to... Denwood is going to get us over on the climb, it looks like. Thank you so much to Denwood, even though he has no clue that I'm talking about. It looks like Hodges is going to be taking the forward direction. A little bit less steep, it looks like, for Hodges to hit up the climb on the... Well, he's hitting up the climb, actually, no, excuse me, on the steeper end. But there's maybe more coins over there. Szymanski would be able to beat him to the coins that are up ahead of him. So it looks like we're going to have a head-to-head competition here between Szymanski and Hodges. Szymanski, 15 coins. Hodges, 7 coins. Now, between the two of these, I would always pick Hodges. But here's the thing. Szymanski's got a head start. The handicap is on, and it's like a chop race, except for we are in Gold Rush right now. We're not actually on the... We're looking at just Innsbruck. Right now. We'll have to change a couple of these titles up, but it does look like Hodges versus Szymanski is going to be the battle right now. You still have time to jump in and see if you can still beat Szymanski. We've got about 39 minutes left to go in the event here today, so jump on in and make sure to watch the video over on our Facebook. If you don't know how to connect your Zwift GPS, it is fairly self-explanatory. If you go to zwiftgps.com, it has step 1 and step 2. Go ahead and follow those steps, and you'll be able to jump into Gold Rush pretty quickly. Looks like I am currently unlocking all kinds of achievements on our new streaming. We have some new streaming specific accounts actually, and it looks like they're getting all the achievements right now. It's all right, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm not using them for any other reason than streaming. Anyways, I believe we're still sitting top 10 in the world for Nathan's account, so no big deal on opening up achievements, I don't think. But looking through here, humble brag, sorry, had to go there. So looking through, are these guys heading up the climb here? It looks like for some reason I lost the climb. Maybe I was totally incorrect about the way that those guys were going there, as they are heading over the bridge here. I'm going to work our way back and see if that left-hand turn was actually where we needed to be going. As the riders back here, a little further back, still trying to look for this climb up, and it looks like we have found it here. Now Fraser is gonna hopefully head on straight on, and it looks like he is, so we are gonna be able to find Szymanski here in just a moment. If we can get out of this event, though, that's gonna be the question. This rider stopped up. We'll go ahead and see if we can use the turnaround button. Doesn't look like it's gonna be happening, so I'm gonna head on back to me and see if I can get my avatar to head on over to the climb here and get Szymanski as well as Hodges out on course. Does look like Hodges is starting to get near a few coins, but as far as the leaderboard goes, it does not look like a whole lot's gonna be changing anytime soon. He's got a lot of work cut out for him, actually, it looks like. See if we got any more questions or comments coming on through over at the Facebook post here. Still time to hop on the course and join in the race with community. I just went up this thing twice in a race. I was wondering about that, actually, Hodges. I saw you on. So because you are on the leaderboards with, or you're on with an opt-in with Zwift GPS, I was able to see you right away, actually, and I was wondering if that's what was going on there with your avatar out on course, actually. So good to see that he jumped in with us, but sounds like it's going to be a difficult day on the bike for sure. So hopefully you can catch up to Szymanski. Szymanski's gonna have maybe a little more advantage than we thought for his battle here up against Hodges. So good to see a couple of the KRT boys battling it out here for this event. Good to see Fulford. Fulford's hanging out. Tim Fulford, thanks for tuning in, man. And welcome to the program here. We're just doing a little bit of gold rush out on Innsbruck here. We'll see if we can find a few more of the athletes who are currently out there hammered away. It looks like we might be losing power as well on our avatar here. But hopefully we can get on over to the riders out on course here. It does look like maybe found a rider who's heading on up to the climb. Doesn't look like it. This is where events for this would help out a ton. Hopefully we can get to a point where perhaps maybe events or some sort of opt-in, like a situation where the opt-in is able to produce maybe some sort of a event in and of itself. Would be kind of cool as well. We'll see what we can develop with all this though. Looking through here, I need handicap against Hodges. Good to see Szymanski. Yeah, I think I wouldn't argue with you there. I would not argue with there at all. Matthias Steer saying put 2 cyclists on a course and you have a race. This is right, Matthias, for sure. And it does look like Hodges, you know, Szymanski might have selected the easier way up, and I have a feeling because he selected the easier way up the course, he might be at a little bit of a disadvantage here. So looking through the, you know, if we take a look at the actual climb for Innsbruck here, you know, we see Szymanski with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there's a treasure chest though that he's on his way up to. Hodges though, you know, I want to be able to see their current power. And maybe we can bring up zwiftpower.com actually, but they're not in events, so that's going to be the hard part. I think I am able to watch a rider live, even if they're just out on course actually. I'm going to see if I can grab the power for Hodges. Yep, here's Hodges on zwiftpower.com. I did bring it up. Currently riding, but I'm not seeing any information. Skills, activities. Perhaps under activities? We'll have to wait and see. But no, I think it's only if they're in events, if you're able to actually grab any information from them. So looking through, here's my avatar now as they are heading up the climb, and my avatar has taken the right-hand turn, so we will be following up on Hodges, and that's actually what I'm interested in here, seeing what James Hodges is up to on this climb right now, because I have a feeling he's going all in. 4.3 watts per kilogram, 150 beats per minute right now, and he's coming up on, it looks like, 1 coin. Gonna grab a coin just now, and the leaderboard is starting to change a little bit. We are seeing 12 but 21 versus Szymanski, and those treasure chests are really worth a lot. I mean, they've got a huge amount, but it looks like Szymanski perhaps not quite as interested. Now, another cool thing about Zwift GPS here, do you see the color changes on the avatars? Those actually are representative of the zones that the riders are riding in at that time. So, and I believe, I'm not sure about how much integration there is, like if Zwift GPS actually knows your zones. That's a great question I need to ask actually of ZwiftGPS.com, the developer over there. But if that might just be off of like a base of like, here's wattages, and if you're over a certain amount of wattage, then here's what the color is. But if it might be based off the zones, but no matter what, we're seeing at 290 watts right now. That is getting into an orange effort, which is usually around threshold effort for Hodges here. About to pick up 3 coins actually, and as far as the leaderboard goes, that is going to bring him up to 15. Szymanski looks to have opted in for the turnaround. I think he's figured out that he is maybe unable to keep up with Hodges on the climb. And that now here's the thing though, I'm not sure this was the way to go. Szymanski did this the last time we did one of these events. You did the exact same thing and decided to hit up the flats and did fairly well. I think he actually might have even won one of the events actually when he did go at it that way. But I'm not sure if today that's going to be the correct way to go about this, because looking at Hodges here, he's going to start picking up, it looks like 1, 2, that's 6 coins in front of him just with those 2 stacks. And again, at the top, if he can hit the top before, and he'll hit the top before the end of the hour here, he's still got a half hour to go. He's halfway up. That's probably for him about 10 minutes to the top of that climb. He's still got a treasure chest on the downhill, so Szymanski's definitely going to have his work cut out for him if he thinks he's going to be grabbing this W out there, because these riders are definitely, or at least Hodges is definitely got a lot of extra points up ahead of him, already up into that 15 and 21, closing the gap down pretty quickly here, James Hodges. So good to see that the strong riders showed up. KRT going to be battling out. We're still looking for Szymanski out on course. I believe he's heading into, is he turned around? I'm checking here. Looks like no, he's still heading on over toward the flatter sections of the course here. So I'm going to see if some of the riders can help me out to find him. Right now we are getting stuck in a few events actually, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to find him just as of yet. But if I can find Szymanski, I will do so and have him up on the broadcast here too. But 18 to 21, Szymanski here. Not a lot of coins out in front of him. I think he was rolling the dice. I mean, if we look at where he's at right now, where is he going? What is he after? That is the question here. I mean, what's the tactic here, Szymanski? I'm not sure the choice was made correctly. Now, if we look here real quickly, this is what is available over on the Innsbruck ring. So that's the smaller section, flatter section. He's going to enter into the flatter section, have those 3 coins, and then not a whole lot available actually over there on the course. So, but maybe opting in that perhaps it's the easier way to go. Just the higher speeds, but there is a lot of treasure up on that climb right now. So the Innsbruck climb, definitely a place to go. And look, as soon as Hodges picks up that 3 coin stack, another coin is rewarded to him up on the climb. So the climb's definitely the place where you are going to be able to get the most points for your, bang for the buck here for sure out on course. So let's go ahead and bring in Hodges' view here as we are watching him make this climb up to the top now. We're going to check and see if we got any more questions or comments coming on over through the Facebook post here. So Hodges saying API doesn't return your FTP. Thanks, Hodges. I appreciate that. Of course, Hodges would know. James Hodges, actually, for those of you who don't know, he is the one of the masterminds behind ZwiftPower.com. So definitely one who would know. Says Matsky saying, I can do 5 laps of Innsbruck before 1 lap of the climb. All right. Good call. Let's see if if that's true, and you've got about 27 minutes 1v1 here. We've got a heads-up battle between Szymanski and Hodges. Szymanski is still in the lead, but Hodges from the KRT team climbing up 306 watts, 22 points. Szymanski just picked up a coin, though, it looks like, over on the smaller loop here. Here's where Szymanski is at. We are going to be watching Hodges in the lower right-hand corner most of the time until I can find Szymanski out on course, but 22 to 26 right now. Szymanski, though, it looks like with the turnaround here. Now, the question is, will he continue to be rewarded by the RNG? Now, there is some random number games involved here. There definitely is some variables, because every time you pick up a coin, a new coin does show up out on course here. So Szymanski about to pick up another point, it looks like here, 27 to 22, still in the lead by 5. Now, that actually was a 3 stack. I didn't notice that actually. So Szymanski here picks up a 3 stack there. Szymanski versus Hodges now. Now we're starting to get a race on our hands here because 8 points is still plenty here. And if there is any, random pickups here for Szymanski, as you can see him 1-2 coins up ahead of him here, and definitely a much smaller section of the course. This doesn't do it justice actually. This is a zoom in on the map here, but look at the difference here in the distances, right? This is the distance for Szymanski is so much smaller. He's got much less ground to cover for those coins that are down below. So maybe for the rider who's not quite as strong, doesn't have the climbing legs, the power that James Hodges has, might be able to get the rewards quicker on the flatter course. And with not a whole lot of riders out there collecting coins quickly on the flatter course, maybe be able to hold off the charging Hodges here. But Hodges still, once he comes up over the top of that climb, look what he's got on that downhill. And that downhill is crazy fast. For those who have not done the Innsbruck course yet, this climbing section here out on the climb, definitely one that favors if you want to get your Daredevil achievement, you are able to get it out here for sure. That's where you're hitting 60 miles per 100. I believe it's 100k per hour. And or what is it, 50 and 100k an hour, something right around there, somewhere around there. And it is a hard achievement actually to grab. Hodges though going all in, 334 watts right now, going into the red, as you can see, for that little dot on the course. That means he's definitely working hard. 164 beats per minute currently, all in, 15% gradient. As we were saying, this climb is absolutely insane. He went up the harder side for sure, as this side, I believe the average gradient is up into 8-9%. The average gradient on the other side, I believe, is a little bit lower. Actually, does that even make any sense? I'm not sure if that's even possible, but well, actually, yeah, it is possible with it being a little bit longer, I believe, to the other side. But this gradient, man, is absolutely insane. Very, very difficult side for the course, but it looks like he is going to be picking up another coin here. And there is a 3 stack for the reward for the KOM up from the top. Current time for the KOM for the riders here, it looks to be a 18:34. So for those who are unfamiliar with Zwift, there are rewards out on Zwift at any time. You can go and head on over toward the sprint section, the King of the Mountains section. You can head on over toward the lap and do the fastest lap. On the Innsbruck ring, there are those 3. Currently on the Innsbruck course, excuse me, there are those 3. So the KOM forward and reverse KOMs for the climb. There's sprints for forward and reverse sprints, as well as forward and reverse fastest UCI laps. So those are things that you can definitely go out on course and grab. And when you do grab those, you're rewarded with that jersey for 1 hour in the game here. So you can see DeCock out there with a 18:34. It looks like Hodges may be challenging that. 6.7 watts per cone. I think he's fairly motivated at this point. And if we had Hodges' perspective, what we would see up at the top of the screen right now would be a timer telling him what his time is going to be up and over the top of the climb right now. So for the live results, it is M. DeCock. For the female, my streaming avatar that I'm logged in right now is actually a female avatar. We can also see the women's leaderboard. Currently, G. Miller holding it down. We are seeing Williams there for the KISS Racing team as well. Kay Williams with a 25.06 up on the top there. Hodges just about to round over the top. Now, this is a very difficult point because the gradient goes out from you and it becomes extremely difficult to hold on to the wattage, actually, because you no longer have the force up against your legs in order to keep on pushing, and you're already completely burnt out. And you can see 171 beats per minute currently. Hodges absolutely burying himself to go for these 3 coins. Now, when he gets over the top here, things are really going to heat up for him when it comes to coin collection. We're talking Sonic the Hedgehog gets into the ball and starts rolling down the hill is what we're going to see here, because it's power-up time for him. Not actually power-ups in games. Well, he might grab a power-up over the top here. Hodges, though, does grab the fastest time by 1 second. And that's why we saw that effort from him. Because at the top of his screen, he could see what his time was going to be. And you start getting diminishing returns from your effort if you do not hold it. You have to hold it at the current wattage that you're at in order to get the time. So he saw at the top of his screen for the wattage that he was holding, the time he would get. And it becomes so difficult if you bump up your effort to like 400 watts or something crazy over your current like ability to hold on to, right? Like you then get that time on screen, but the time starts going back up the second that you lower your wattage. It's based on what your wattage currently is. It's an estimated time. He had to hold at that 400 that we saw just now to hit that 1830, the 1833. So solid result there coming from from Hodges. So great job to Hodges there for grabbing that KOM there, as well as a lot of coins. Now back into the look at the battle though for Gold Rush. Up and out of the step, 8.3 watts per kilogram. We've only got 19 minutes left in the battle here, but look at the course. Szymanski, as you can see, maybe questioning his effort down on the flat course, or maybe not. Suddenly, the variables kick into his favor here, and you can see a three stack just opened up behind him here. As you can see, no, it's a single stack, but at least it's something, because Hodges is going to start collecting. And there's a treasure chest actually just ahead of Hodges here, but Szymanski with another coin pickup. 40 to 34 is the current situation out on course. Hodges here, 41 to 34, but Hodges now, as you can see, is about to pick up this whole bunch. Oh my goodness. There's a treasure chest, some coins up ahead. Now, did he pick up the treasure chest? Did the treasure chest just disappear on him? I'm not sure. Now, the question is, will Hodges turn around? Is he going to go back uphill? Because as he's collecting coins on the downhill, this section, he just picked up 2 coins, but 2 3 stacks just spawned behind him. So, makes their turnaround and right back into 346 watts. Organized, disciplined training? No, this is Gold Rush. There's no training program. It's whatever's coming at you at any moment. If the gold ends up spawning behind you, turn around and grab those coins. Full on, random intervals, anytime that they can come at you. And that's what's happening right now. Hodges has to answer the demand. And that's what just happened behind him here. Pretty cool situation, actually. This is what I like about Gold Rush, because you get out on course and you start hammering away, you grab some coins, and the next thing you know, a new interval shows up behind you. A new effort shows up behind you, and you have to respond in the moment to what is thrown at you in the game. Pretty cool. RNG loves you. 4 stack for Szymanski just now. So it looks like Szymanski is definitely getting a little bit of love from Gold Rush right now, as he is collecting lots of coins over here on the flatter part of the Innsbruck course, actually, over on the Innsbruck ring. But I'm not sure this is going to end up in his favor, though, as, you know, he's picking up 1s and 2s and 3s here every once in a while. But, you know, still, the amount that Hodges is getting because of the favor for being on the climb is definitely starting to pay off, as we've got 2 3 stacks about to be picked up because he's turned around here. And I would not be surprised if after he picks these up, there's another spawn actually a little way lower down on course here. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in on maybe over on Mixer, or you're hanging out somewhere else, this is actual real people battling it out in game to collect coins with real efforts. So the heart rates that you're seeing from the likes of James Hodges right now, 167 beats per minute, 338 watts. This is actual effort to collect these coins out on course, actually. Now, you do not see the coins in-game. I know a few of you who are asking over at the gaming streaming platforms that we are broadcasting on right now. I do see Rogue Saint over there. This is not seen in-game because these are third-party app currently that does collect information from Zwift in order to have the riders out on the map. That's ZwiftGPS.com. That's able to collect that information from Zwift and create this map and create this situation where it's able to put the coins out on course. But you do not see them in game currently right now, but definitely a cool concept. And we're hoping maybe down the road to see something where we do have events that, at least events that are going along with the Zwift GPS and the rest of the riders out on course here. So we can maybe get a little bit more information for all of the riders that are currently on the game. Well, I believe these are the only two that have opted in and are participating right now, but it is a 1v1 KRT versus KRT. But would be cool in the future. I have a feeling in the future, pretty soon, we are going to be seeing some events actually in game. Now, there's another 3-stack that did just open up. Hodges did do a little turnaround there. He saw it up there, but I think the moment he saw it there was like, that's a little bit too far, perhaps. Let's go ahead and give a little kick downhill. 62 kilometers per hour, as you can see, and plenty of reward down the climb here a little ways, as there's a 3-stack, a 1-stack there, another couple of 1-stacks down the hill. And at the speed that you do travel on the downhill, I think the payoff for heading downhill here is going to definitely be there. There's definitely going to be plenty of return for risking it on the downhill here. Now back into what Szymanski is up to. Let's head on back over to the Innsbruck ring. He seems to just kind of be doing this little like loop on the bridge over there, over the top of the overpass. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can find the overpass section, because if that's where he's at, we should be able to find him pretty easily actually. And he just keeps on doing this little loop over on the overpass actually, and it seems like it keeps on loading coins. Now what gets kind of fun in Gold Rush is when the riders do start battling it out on a specific section for coins, because the coin generation, the coin spawning, is not specific to your game. It is a game that you're all playing and competing for on the same map for the same coins. So all the riders are battling out for the same coins. So you can go and steal coins from another rider if you're the first one that gets across that section. So Hodges could head on over to the same section of course that Szymanski is on right now and nab those coins from him before he does. So Szymanski better watch out, as Hodges is heading down this downhill here, is heading toward this section of course that they are both on actually. Let's go ahead and see what Hodges is about to start collecting. He is about to round the corner here and does have, it looks like, in front of him 5 more coins to collect. And I think Hodges has overtaken Szymanski by 5 points because of those pickups on the downhill here. So looks like Hodges most likely to be taking the W, barring any huge amount of upset from Szymanski. Szymanski definitely had the head start with that handicap, but perhaps, well, a little bit of a pickup there from Szymanski. 3 coins there, brings it back up to 46 to 49, but Hodges still with, it looks like, 4 coins ahead of him, is going to have, looks like, 53 to 46 in just a moment. And Szymanski, I do not believe, has a whole lot of opportunity ahead of him just yet. Now looking though, he does take this right-hand turn onto the sharper section of the course. We may see some things change up here actually. So as we do look at the map here, he may be able to grab the coins. Now what the question is, does he grab the coin on the right-hand turn and keep on heading up the steep side, the reverse climb, or does he take the left, grab those coins that Hodges could grab, and then turn around real quickly and grab the 3 that are there if he can hold off Hodges? That's the question actually at this point. And this is still a battle for the win. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 coins still up for grabs here, but 47, he can only actually get up to 51 at this point. Hodges though, not a whole lot of opportunity in front of him, so he's cleared out a huge section of the course. He farmed this whole section of the course. Look at this. Szymanski with all the opportunity from him, he's going to grab the coin that Hodges could actually get here. So goes ahead, snags that from him, and now Hodges with no opportunity in front of him. But Szymanski's going to have to do the turnaround here real quickly. Now, this is where both of them are on the same section of the course. So this is fun to see actually. And I just got a achievement here. 127 is the difference actually between the two riders. I do not believe that Hodges can close that down, even at 4.6 watts per kilogram, 65 kilometers per hour, as we can see. This is interesting now. We are seeing James Hodges 5.4 and Szymanski now on a TT bike, and he's going to be taking a right-hand turn. Now, here's the question. What's going on? We are actually seeing an interesting situation here. Szymanski nabbing the coins from Hodges real quickly and gets some RNG in his favor there, as we are seeing the right-hand turn into a 3-stack that just opened up for Szymanski. Now Hodges into the red numbers now, and definitely things getting interesting as Szymanski picks up 3 coins. 51 now. Hodges 53. It's coming down to the 1-point difference. Couldn't get any better than this, actually, boys and girls. You know, we thought it was just going to be a 1v1, no big deal, and Szymanski was just going to walk away with it. Hodges goes ahead, grabs the climb, gets the treasure chest up there, but ends up with the situation where it's only going to be a 2-point difference now at this point. And where are the coins? It's going to come down to some random number games, perhaps. Now, we are seeing on the bigger map here, Szymanski heading on over to the flat course. Hodges is also taking the right-hand turn, I believe, onto the flat course. It's an all-out battle now. 2-point difference between the riders out on course. This has ended up being a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be, actually, I have to admit. With only 2 riders out on course, I thought for sure one was just going to walk away with it here. There's Hodges entering into Innsbruck ring. Szymanski now sees the 3-coin stack. That was just a little bit ahead of him. Hodges kicking into the red numbers now. Starting to absolutely see that this might be slipping away from him. Left-hand turn onto the course. There's still a minute difference. But no, Hodges, seeing that Szymanski is far enough ahead of him, not going to be able to catch Szymanski. So Szymanski there making that left-hand turn, sees the 3-stack, but Hodges sees that there's a couple of coins up ahead of him. He's going to grab those and has to hope that the program will load, will spawn. It's all about hoping on the spawn at this point, because here's the reality. These 3 coins are going to put them into a tie after the collection, because here's the situation on course. Currently, Szymanski, 51. He's going to grab a 3-stack. It's going to put him at 54. Hodges now grabbing 54 as well. 54 to 54 right now. What the heck? How did we get up? Well, not right now. I mean, barring any kind of crazy situation, Szymanski's going to pick up a 3-stack right now, and we're going to end up with 54 to 54. KRT versus KRT. Szymanski and Hodges. What do they got left in the legs? That's going to be the question. Szymanski now with 154 beats per minute, 175 watts, killing himself. But Hodges grabs another 55 out there. Get back into the map. What has Hodges got, though? Szymanski, though, going for the tie. He's heading on over toward the climb now in just a moment. Well, heading toward the climbing section. He is in a flat through town right now. Hodges also heading toward the climb, but Hodges has a bunch of coins up ahead of him. Szymanski's got a single coin up ahead of him. I think Hodges has got it in the bag. He took the right-hand turn, and now it's all-in effort into the orange numbers. 290 watts or so, I believe, is what Hodges is putting out. And I'm not sure Szymanski can make this happen. There is a 3-stack ahead of him, though. It is a tie game, as you can see, but there's not a lot of coins up ahead of him at this point. And Hodges has a lot to work with. As you can see, Hodges here at 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, there's actually no 1, 2, and no, that coin is in the pens. That coin on the right there is actually not out on course. You can't go to that section, actually. That is actually the holding pens for events. So he's got 1, 2, 3 coins that he can collect. Szymanski has a 3-stack ahead of him as well. He can still tie the game. There's 7 minutes left. But Szymanski, you have to go. It has to be all in, Szymanski, because look at the situation here. The coin up ahead, the 3-stack up ahead, will tie it for him if he's able to hold on. Well, and actually, it'll actually win the game for him, because if Hodges cannot get up over the top of the climb before Szymanski grabs this 3-stack, he may be able to win the game. We'll have to see. It's 55 to 56 at this point currently. Now going to hit 57. Szymanski still 224 watts currently coming from him, but it looks like Szymanski is starting to fade. 2 points to Hodges right now is the lead. Szymanski 55 to 57 right now. Mike Szymanski 168 beats per minute, 250 watts, trying to hold on. What's going on with Hodges? We are looking to find him out on course here. Let me see if I can find Hodges. Where is Hodges at? I'm going to see where. Okay, so currently one of my avatars here is nowhere near where he needs to be, actually. So I'm going to see if I can find Hodges out on course as we go through the map here. And it would be lovely if I could just go wherever the heck I wanted out on course and find the riders, but currently we do not have that ability. We are asking for it. Hopefully we'll be able to quickly find Hodges, though, because if we could find Hodges, we could really see what's going on here. We have to do a quick little turnaround, I believe, as Hodges, I believe, is going the other direction, and I believe he most likely here. Let's go ahead and see where he's at on course. So he's about to hit the climb, and that is right about where our avatars, I believe, that we are on right now. Nope, this is actually a totally different section of course. So, sorry guys, we're trying to find him out here, but we are unable to find him at this moment. But we'll see if we can get back in. We'll have to just use the map at this point. It does look like Szymanski is going to be able to grab a single coin. Actually, no, not a single coin, a 3-stack, and then a single coin up ahead of him. So we'll see if the tie-up is going to happen. But I think Hodges is going to grab this climb, this coin on the climb here in just a moment. But the question is, will that be enough? Because Szymanski has another coin up ahead of that 3-stack, but Szymanski's fading. You can see it, 194 beats per minute. Every little bit matters, man. Every little bit matters. Comes up over the top of this climb here. Just killing himself at this point. I think he's seriously faded at this point, as we're only seeing 163. We're seeing 63 watts, 176 beats per minute. Szymanski's just dying. 40K in at this point. Hour and 17 minutes. Everything you got. Essentially, you know, Gold Rush is like mountain bike racing. I'm not kidding you, because it's about an hour. Everything you got, or cyclocross racing, because it's like 1 hour. It can be a threshold, but really you start seeing where each coin is at, and you get these little reprieves and then kick, and little reprieves and kick and kick and kick and kick over and over and over again. And it's kind of random when you're going to be kicking. So it looks like Szymanski's able to grab a single, a 3-stack here, actually. Looking at this is crazy. Grabs that 3-stack, still within 2 points. He's going to have this single coin up ahead of him on this turn. It's going to be about the RNG. Where's the closest coin after Szymanski grabs this one? 1 point's the difference. Nothing's loading. No coins are loading. They're in no man's land. Is a coin going to load anywhere near each other? Szymanski, I mean, essentially, they're just going to end up running into each other and GG. Like, handshake. That's what's happening at this point. It's just going to be a handshake because there's no coins left out on course anywhere near each other. So it looks like Szymanski versus Hodges is going to end up with not a whole lot to work with here. 2 minutes left in the game, and it looks like the win comes down to a 1 point difference. James Hodges, with a handicap, joined about 10 minutes late, was still able to take the W. Barely. The climb paid off, though. He went all the way up and over the top of the Innsbruck climb. The downhill, so many coins collected, lots of 3-stacks. The climbs are definitely where things were rewarded. And for some reason today, Zwift GPS was loading quite a few more on the flatter sections for Szymanski. Kept him in the race, but as you can see, look at all those coins out on the climb right now. Missing out. The riders hanging out in the flats here. Definitely missing out a little bit on a few coins. But, you know, Szymanski, he definitely rolled the dice on the flat section, as you can see here. And it did pay off up front. There was definitely some RNG that did end up throwing some coins at him. But with them being the only ones out on course, nobody else is going to be collecting any coins anywhere else. And only so many coins out on course at any time, it looks like nothing else is going to get generated. Because if nobody else hits a coin right now, no more coins are going to be generated. They're all up on the climb right now. And it looks like that's going to be it. The winner, I believe, today of the Gold Rush is going to be James Hodges. Now, if you guys have not been able to, we'll wait before we call an official winner. There will be a flashed across the, it will flash across the screen here momentarily as soon as we go across to, so the game, it says game starts in 6 minutes, as you can see here, right there. So when you go to info here in the lower left-hand corner, game starts in 6 minutes for the next one. They will declare a winner in just a moment, but it looks like James Hodges was able to take the W there today. And you can see that the coins all cleared out. Every coin did clear out from the course. As soon as it restarts on the hour, every hour, right? So 6 minutes into the hour, the new game will start, right? So, or excuse me, maybe it's 4 minutes. I gotta zoom into this section of the course, so I'm not getting that correctly there. Yeah, 4 minutes, 4 more minutes actually. So, I believe it is 5 minutes after every hour, the each Gold Rush does start. So if you opt in over at ZwiftGPS.com, you can go do this right now. They start, and if you want to get organized, you know, what would be kind of cool maybe if we had like, if we don't get events in game currently, right? And what we could have maybe is some Zwift Power events or events that are just organized as third-party events, right? So where Zwift GPS could organize an event where you can just log in over there, opt in over there, and say I want to join, and bam, it's tracking those riders specifically. That probably we could see that down the road if we're not getting events in game anytime soon. But I have a feeling maybe we're gonna have these fairly soon, as this was organized in conjunction with Summit Zwift HQ to get this going here. So pretty cool. Congratulations to James Hodges. 60. I can't believe it came down to 1 point. Absolutely crazy that it came down to 1 point between these riders. Let's go ahead and see. Zizmansky saying good game, good win to James Hodges. Michael is on the climb. Not me, Hodges was saying earlier. Well, he was on the smaller climb, I believe. Looking through here if any other questions came through. Felix Empty saying it's weird. Spent so much of my life in Innsbruck and I'll be able to ride it, but haven't yet. Good to see Felix hanging out. Haven't seen you in a while. Hemsley in the house over at the broadcast. All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Congratulations to Hodges on the win. Again, if you do want to jump into a race out on ZwiftGPS.com, you can do so. We did do a video specifically about how to link your Zwift and your ZwiftGPS.com. Head on over to my.zwift.com, log in, and you can go ahead and opt in. The opt-in screen is under connections, where all of your connections can be found. You go ahead and hit the opt-in on the Zwift GPS. It'll take you on over to, well, then that'll just go into your Zwift, your my.zwift.com. But then you head on over to ZwiftGPS.com. Second step, you have to enter your user ID so it can track your account. So you enter your user ID over there. The way that you find that over at Zwift Insider, it'll help you out with that. There's a couple other ways you can do it as well. It is in your CP file in your Zwift Documents folder on your computer as well. And go ahead and opt in, log in, and currently this is how we do Gold Rush. All right, solid race to everybody out there. Thanks everybody for tuning in as always, and we will see you. I believe next up is going to be some racing next week, and a couple of more weekly windups next week as well. So lots coming up. Obviously, national championships, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa have all been announced. If you have not signed up for those races and you are from those countries, make sure to jump in on that. If you're not going to race, broadcasts will all be live on Zwift's Facebook, brought to you by Zwift Community Live. So make sure to check that out as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Says Mansky and Hodges, great job out there, guys. That looked like it hurt. I think one of the best racing workouts you can do is Gold Rush. Absolutely killer. All right, cheers everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, make sure to hit those follow buttons all over the places so you don't miss any of the broadcasts. We are always live on Mixer, YouTube, Twitch, as well as Facebook. And as always, ride on.